You know what? I'm going to cut straight to the point today, because I'm watching people waste time, energy, and potential chasing business models that stopped working years ago. And honestly, it frustrates me, because I've been in the exact same position, and I know how it feels when you're trying everything and somehow nothing really works. For the past decade, you've been told a lie, that freedom comes from picking a popular model and grinding harder than everyone else. Dropshipping, SMMA, or whatever was trending on YouTube that year. Maybe you even tried some of them. Maybe you had a few wins, but it never stuck. You hit the same wall that everyone hits, which is exhaustion, slow results, and a feeling that you're always late to the party. And here's the truth, it's not because you're lazy or stupid, it's because the world has changed and no one told you. And I can say that because I didn't grow up privileged or in a perfect environment either. I was doing the same dumb stuff. 4 years ago I was working at Subway while trying dropshipping, which led to nothing, hoping that one day something would click. And it never did. Not because I didn't work, but because I was stuck in an old system that rewards the wrong things. The way money is made online has shifted. We've entered a new era. One where your output is no longer defined by your effort, but by your leverage. And that leverage is AI. And I'm not saying this in some motivational quote way. I mean it literally. AI broke the entire game. It didn't just make things faster, it made creation frictionless. The barriers that used to stop people like skill, time, or experience, they're gone. And people used to say, I can't design, I can't write, or I don't know how to start. None of that matters anymore. You don't need to hire, outsource, or overthink. You just need direction and the right tool. And if you miss this window, you're going to spend the next decade watching others live off the systems you could have built. I've seen this happen with people who missed YouTube, missed Instagram, and missed TikTok. And I promise you, missing AI is 10 times worse. So today, I'm showing you the exact cheat code to make money with AI the laziest way possible. The one model that uses AI correctly. Because the people who get in now will never have to chase trends again. Everyone loves to say, just work harder, but that's the old world talking. That's the mindset that kept millions of people stuck in their jobs that slowly killed them inside. The new world doesn't reward effort, it rewards leverage. The people getting rich right now aren't doing more. In fact, they're doing less with systems that multiply their output. And that's why AI is not the business itself, but it's the infrastructure that powers new business models. Just like you didn't make money on the internet, you make money on it. You won't make money from AI, you will make money through it. And the best vehicle for that is digital products. Now let me be clear, I'm not talking about the old kind of digital products, the ones people used to spam on Etsy or Gumroad, like basic templates or half-finished ebooks with no soul. That never really worked because people don't want empty files. They want value, they want interaction, and they want results. The new era of digital products are rich, structured, and completely buildable with AI. Products that actually change something for the person buying them, whether it's clarity, organization, emotion, or transformation. And I'm not talking about creating another course with AI. The products we sell can be built entirely by AI or co-created with it in days or even minutes. That's what's new, and that's why this era is different. We are not talking about information anymore. We're talking about transformation that is delivered digitally, automated by systems, and scaled infinitely. And here's the part most people miss. This model works even if no one knows who you are, and even if you're starting from zero, and even if you failed before. Because the bottleneck is no longer your skill, it's your willingness to start. Okay, so let's talk about what I call the 3-step cheat code. The 3 steps that anyone can use right now to start building digital products that make money over and over again. Because you build them once and they can be sold endlessly. Let's start with cheat code step 1, which is finding your specific niche. The biggest mistake people make, they try to help everyone. They create broad, generic products and then wonder why no one cares. The internet rewards specificity. The more specific you are, the faster you stand out. You need to find what I call the specific niche formula. The place where your product becomes so focused, it's undeniable. Forget the usual examples like weight loss or motivation guides. Instead, think of someone who helps overwhelmed parents design calmer, more independent homes for their kids without spending thousands on furniture. Or think of someone who builds digital creativity kits for artists who struggle with focus. Those are specific and those connect emotionally. Now, AI can already help you brainstorm ideas. Even simple tools can throw out suggestions, but they're shallow and they're not specific. They lack strategy, the audience focus, and the understanding of what people actually pay for. That's where specialized tools come in. AI systems designed specifically for digital products. And one of the best examples is LoupaAI. Loupa gives you leverage from the start. You don't need to spend weeks guessing what your niche should be. Loupa gives you hundreds of validated niche ideas in one click. Each idea comes with its own USP, and you can even see how the product should be positioned, priced, and sold before you build anything. You can start from scratch or input your own topic, and Lupa will refine it into a profitable angle that people actually care about. So even if you're a complete beginner, you will have your idea ready in minutes. And here's the key point. Specificity makes AI powerful. If your niche is weak, everything you create will be also weak. But if your niche is sharp, AI becomes a weapon. It builds exactly what people want. And this is the part most people underestimate. Specificity doesn't just make your product better, it makes every single step after that 10 times easier. Your marketing becomes clear, your content becomes stronger, and your product feels like it was built exactly for them. Specificity also builds trust instantly. When someone scrolls through millions of posts and sees something that describes their exact situation, their exact frustration, or their exact desire, they stop. You have the perfect solution to their problem. Not because your brand is big, not because your design is perfect, but because your message hit the nerve that matters. And this is where AI becomes an unfair advantage. Because without the right tools, finding a niche could take months. You'd guess, test, fail, you adjust, overthink, try to analyze markets you don't understand. But with Lupa, you skip the guessing. You skip the fear of choosing a wrong niche that keeps 90% of the people stuck at step 1. Lupa gives you niches built around real human problems. Emotional problems, daily problems, problems people actually pay to solve. And once you lock into that level of specificity, everything else becomes a straight line forward instead of a maze. Because at the end of the day, people don't buy products. They buy solutions to very specific parts of their life. Specificity makes your product feel personal, makes your content feel relevant, makes your offer feel unavoidable. And this is where beginners win. You don't need fame, you don't need experience, you don't need a big brand. You just need a niche so specific that the right person feels like you built it just for them. That's what a specific niche formula unlocks. And that's why it's the first step, and that's why it changes everything. Alright, cheat code step 2 is building your product. This is where everything used to fall apart. Normally you spend weeks researching, reading articles, taking notes, gathering examples, and trying to make everything look professional. Before AI, putting a product together took weeks or months, designing layouts, writing outlines, creating structure, or even hiring a designer. That's why most people quit. But now, creation isn't the hard part, it's the easiest part. You can either take your idea and create a whole outline yourself, then go to Canva and design your pages and format your text. People usually do this if they're experts in a niche they want to create a digital product in. But if you're a beginner, have no design experience and no time to try yourself out, it's just easier to let AI do the work for you. And once again, as I already mentioned, Lupa is our all-in-one solution so it can build everything for you. You can enter your product idea and then it generates a complete, ready-to-sell digital product with perfect layout and even visuals for you. You don't need to design a thing, you don't need to write a thing. Lupa handles the entire process, from blank page to finished product. You just review, maybe refine, and download. What used to take a full creative team or hours of work for yourself now happens in minutes. That's what digital products in today's new era really are. AI does the heavy lifting so you can focus on the important parts, which is getting sales. Now we also need a place to sell our products so people can actually buy it. And that means you need a website. Normally, this step takes time. You have to choose a platform, design every part, write all the text, create the layout, and upload images, adjust the colors, and fix mistakes. You can do all of that manually with Shopify or any other website builder if you want. It works, but it takes time, patience, and experience. But if you want a fast, professional, and simple way, Lupa does the whole process for you. With Lupa, you don't have to design anything yourself, you don't have to write a website text. You don't have to figure out the layout, colors, spacing, or what should go where. Lupa builds the entire website automatically and it takes less than 5 minutes. Let me explain. You just paste your product description, choose a theme, add your Stripe or Gumroad payment link, and that's literally all you need to do. Lupa creates everything for you. The design, the structure, the text, the images, and the formatting. All clean, organized, and ready to launch. And you also get your own custom website domain, so everything looks professional and trustworthy from the beginning. You can put this link in your social media bio or link it to your ads. And here's the part most people still don't get. When you remove the creation bottleneck, you remove the number one excuse people hide behind. People say they don't start because they don't know how to design, or because they don't have time, or because building a product is too complicated. But with AI doing the entire heavy lifting, all those excuses fall apart instantly. This is also why the winners of this new era will look like beginners on paper. The person who used to spend 3 months building their first product now competes with someone who built 10 in the exact same time. And let's talk about quality for a moment, because people think fast means low quality. But with the right AI tool, the opposite is true. Loupa doesn't create generic filler. It creates products structured with logic, guided by clear transformation, filled with visuals that look intentional, and formatted like something that belongs in a polished digital storefront. This is why beginners can win. This is why people with no background can suddenly build products that look better than the products made by experts. Because the quality gap is closed, and now the only gap that matters is execution. And then there's the website. Before AI, building a website was a nightmare. You had to remove ugly defaults, fix spacing, rewrite the same section 10 times, make sure mobile doesn't break, and pray nothing looks off. Most people burned out at a step. But with Loupa building the entire website for you, this step becomes irrelevant. It's no longer a barrier, and it's not even a task. It's something that happens in the background while you think about your next move. Just think about it. Loupa's like the bridge, so you can just walk over without worry. Because at the end of the day, the product and the website aren't the point. They're just the infrastructure that needs to exist for money to flow. And AI handles the part for you now, which means you get to focus on the only thing that creates income, and that is clarity, value, and traffic. That's the entire point of the step. Building the product is no longer your job. Executing the idea is no longer your job. Your job is simply pressing start. This step used to be the one that killed everyone's momentum. Now it's the step that gives you momentum. And that's why the people who understand AI will dominate. They don't build slower, they don't build manually, they don't waste weeks. They just build, adjust, test, and scale instantly. Because the creation part is handled and all that's left is to sell. And that leads us to cheat code step 3, which is content leverage. You've got your product, you build a store with LoupaAI, now you need people to see it. And this is where most people overcomplicate everything. They think they need to learn algorithms, build a personal brand, or chase virality. You don't need any of that. What you need is clarity. When it comes to getting attention, you have two options: paid ads or organic growth. Paid ads can work, but they require budget, testing, and skill. Most beginners want to try things out before investing into marketing. That's why the better path is organic growth. Building a community and trust through value. You do that by creating content with AI or in Canva specifically for your niche. Not random posts, but content that actually helps people, educates, and connects your product naturally. And of course, you don't need to show your face. That way, you don't need to beg for sales. Your content becomes proof of your value. Loupa can help you plan it by generating a clear strategic 30-day content plan that ties directly to your product. It shows you what topics to talk about, what posts to create, and what value pillars your audience cares about. Loupa can even create the entire content for you. So you see, it's not about being an influencer. It's about building authority through value. You don't need 100,000 followers. You just need the right 1,000 people who trust you because you show up with clarity and consistency. When you understand how to align your product with content that educates and inspires, people come to you because your content solves their problems before they even buy. That's how real sustainable income is built. And here's the part no one talks about. Most people think content is about posting every day or trying to be entertaining. But content leverage isn't about volume, it's about intention. It's about creating posts that speak directly to the emotional pain points of your audience. Posts that make them feel understood, posts that make them say, this is exactly my problem. Because when someone feels seen by your content, they don't need to be convinced to buy. They already trust you before they click. And trust is the real currency here. People don't buy from creators who scream the loudest. They buy from creators who consistently provide clarity. Because clarity builds familiarity, familiarity builds trust, and trust builds sales. That's why content leverage works even if you never post it in your life. You're not trying to be an influencer, you're simply educating people on a problem they care about and showing them the path forward with your product. And the best part, AI makes this even easier because Loupa removes the biggest creative barrier, which is coming up with ideas. You don't have to sit there and staring at the blank screen, trying to guess what to talk about. You don't have to research endlessly or see what others are doing because Loupa gives you the exact topics. So instead of burning hours trying to be creative, you focus entirely on execution and consistency. You show up, you post, you share value. This is the real power of content leverage. It works even when you're small, even when only a few people see your posts. Because if those few are the right ones, they convert at the rate influencers could only dream of. And once momentum starts, it compounds fast. One person shares your post, someone else bookmarks it, another person messages you, someone buys, and someone tells a friend. The algorithm slowly starts picking you up because your content actually helps people. This is how beginners build real income without burning out. This is how your digital product starts selling every single day. Because when your content becomes a reflection of your product's value, you no longer have to sell. People sell themselves, and that's what makes the step so powerful. Okay, so let's recap. Making money online in 2026 isn't about luck, timing, or getting lucky with a viral video. It's about understanding leverage. The people who understand leverage will own this decade, and the ones who don't will spend it watching from the sidelines. AI is the infrastructure, digital products are the vehicle, and LoupaAI can be the engine that lets you drive it faster than anyone else. Using LoupaAI is like driving a Ferrari while everyone else is still walking. You don't need much money or employees to start, you don't need to show your face, you don't even need time. You just need to start. And before you click away, understand something important. You're living in a moment people will talk about for the next 20 years. The shift happening right now is the same kind of shift that turned average people into millionaires during early days of YouTube, during the early days of Instagram, and during the early days of TikTok. Except this time, it's not about luck or timing or catching some viral trend. It's about using a tool that every single person has access to, but only a few will actually use it with intention. Most people will watch opportunities like this pass by because they think they're too late, or they think they need to prepare more, or they think they need to learn more first. They watch videos, they scroll, they save ideas, but they won't act. And in 2 years, they look back and say they should have started. And I know you don't want to be that person. Because when you start now, even if you learn on the go, even if you don't know what you're doing at first, you will always be ahead of the people who waited. Because action beats perfection every single time. AI isn't asking you to be a genius. It's not asking you to be a designer, a writer, or a business expert. It's simply asking you to press start, to take the first step, to give it something to work with. And once you start, momentum will take over. Just imagine where you could be in 30 days if you actually committed. 1 or maybe even 2 products built, 1 website launched, 30 days of content posted, and 100 people reached. And you already made your first 20 to 100 sales. The number grows fast when the system is automated. And that's the part nobody realizes until they experience it. So let me break it down. Imagine you are selling a product that you didn't even create it yourself on your website that Loupa also created for you for $35. You posted 30 days of content on social media and made 100 sales through it. $35 times 100 sales equals $3,500 in profit in the first 30 days. This isn't a dream or theory. It was happening right now to people who are not smarter than you, not luckier than you, not more creative than you. The only difference is they started and took the first step. So don't let this be another video you watch and forget. Don't let this opportunity slip into the background noise of your life. Take the window you have right now and use it. So here's what I want you to do. I've linked LoupaAI down below. Start by entering an idea, or if you don't have one, then just select one of the ready-made badges and click generate. Watch as it gives you a product idea, a finished outline, and even a ready-to-sell digital product. Then create your website and content with it and start posting. That's it. AI can make you rich, and this video removed every excuse you've ever had. Now it's on you. If you're ready to stop consuming and start building, comment "I'm in" down below to let me know that you're serious. And go try Loupa out for free. It's the first link in the description. See you in the next video.